So this is the trailer for the upcoming Warbond, and it looks insane, guys. If you're a fan of Rambo like I am, you're gonna love this one. It looks so sick, honestly. But what's notable about this is that it only contains one primary weapon, one secondary weapon. However, it's actually got patterns available. Now, patterns, guys, are essentially skins for your hell pods, walkers, and Pelican 1. So you can pretty much have like a crazy camo pattern on all of them. And yes, this does include a shotgun secondary, which looks absolutely badass. There is also a knife in this one too. It looks like a massive combat throwing knife. It's the type of madness we want in this game, honestly. I mean, I don't think a throwing knife, personally, is the best choice against swarms, but I mean, it could be good against larger enemies, who knows? So what we're going to do is break down this blog post and get involved in all the nitty-gritty details, and we will also be going over why we could fail the major order. So lock and load, guys. This is going to be an awesome video. Over on the PlayStation blog page, Catherine Baskin, who is the social media and community manager for Arrowhead, has wrote up a big post explaining what they are doing with this new Warbond. Now, there is a big problem with the Warbonds recently. The weapons not being up to scratch, feeling absolutely trash compared to standard weapons. Nerfs being made literally a week after them releasing. Anyway, Catherine breaks all of this down on the blog saying, Liberty's greetings, Helldivers. Are you ready to learn all about the new VIPER Commandos Warbond? Firstly, we have been listening to your feedback as we develop our Warbonds in general. The idea behind each Warbond is to allow our Helldivers to roleplay their favourite soldiers' fantasies within our universe. But it's important that these are fantasies that actually appeal to our players. Based on player input, we're changing our approach to Warbonds moving forward in a couple of ways. Firstly, we're slowing down the pace at which we release Warbonds to give us a little bit more time to polish these designs before they're released. We don't want to rush anything out of the oven before it's fully baked. This is honestly a massive win, guys. They were pumping these Warbonds out way too fast and just not being very great, really. Now, the blog goes on to say, secondly, we are changing the arrangement of items in each Warbond to make room for new item types and also high quality armor and weapons. This will prevent us from simply adding more of everything, which can lead to weapons that feel redundant and uninteresting armor. It's time to focus on quality over quantity. When we started researching items for the VIPER Commandos, we wanted to be sure we answered our player calls for stronger theming that coordinates across all of the items. More emotes, unique armor passives, and more thoughtful designs rather than simply giving more of the same thing. We can't wait for players to get a hold of our latest edition, so let's dive into what's in store. This is what we've been waiting for, honestly, guys. Major changes. This is great news, honestly. I'm so glad they listened to their community, so this is definitely a huge step in the right direction. Think jungle, think swamp, think about a hot, humid trek through an untamed, marshy wilderness to do reconnaissance on some unliberated scum. If you ask me, this is our strongest themed Warbond yet, with Helldivers equipped from head to boots with the finest tools to live out their jungle combat dreams. What kind of tools, you ask? And I have to agree, guys, this honestly is probably the most exciting Warbond we've actually had. The items in the VIPER Commando set really sell that fantasy of up close and personal. And I mean, guys, look at that. That looks absolutely sick. I mean, look at the beret. That looks like a shorter version of the Liberator. It definitely gives me Rambo vibes. Honestly, Rambo, it's so sick. For a primary, we're giving you a new version of the Liberator, the AR-23A Liberator carbine, but this one has a modified shortened form factor that handles differently from the true classic, with a bit higher recoil but faster handling that feels perfect for spraying and praying up close. So yes, this is definitely good against the bugs, honestly. You're always encountering bugs so close up and personal, you know, tons of them, so this is going to be so great for that. Patterns, boosters, and more. Another exciting addition to this Warbond is new skins for your Hell Pods, exosuits, and Pelican 1, inspired by the classic woodland and tiger stripe camouflage patterns. This pushes that customizable fantasy just a little bit further, for a really cohesive look for your squad. And I mean, doesn't that look really sick, guys? It looks like a sick camouflage pattern. It's a bit standard, obviously a bit of a woodland standard, but I mean, this is something that is going to make the game that little bit better. And again, I don't know why Helldivers 2 didn't do this in the first place, add skins, you know, on the very first set of Warbonds, but you know, we're getting it now, so that's all that matters, honestly. One of my things in VIPER Commandos is our new utility item, the throwing knife. Imagine mowing down a crowd of Terminids and running out of ammo with only one bug remaining. No time to reload, so you dive backward and throw a hunting knife into its carapace right before it descends on you. Honestly, guys, it's giving me Alien vs Predator vibes, Commando vibes, you know, full-on Rambo, that kind of theme, and honestly, I absolutely love it. This is what we've needed for such a long time. It's all of those fantasies kind of like smashed together, and I'll say I really, really like it. There's also a new booster called Experimental Infusion, which gives your stims the added bonus of boosting your movement speed and reducing the damage you take for a short time. We've also got capes, player cards, and emotes too. Check out the rest of the items in the VIPER Commandos Warbond. I mean, look at that knife though, guys. It's bloody huge. It's like a huge ass throwing combat knife. And I mean, a lot of throwing knives are quite small, so yeah. But then again, if you're in the jungle and you're fighting bugs, you're going to want a huge ass throwing knife, aren't you? You're going to want like a beefy throwing knife. I just really hope these throwing knives do a lot of damage, you know. So like if you've got some heavy targets coming your way and you've only got, let's say, 6 throwing knives, that if you throw one, let's say a huge ass bug, that it takes it down instantaneously. Otherwise, if the throw knives are really weak, you know, then what would be the point in even having them? You know, I'd rather just a grenade. But I guess we just have to wait and see until we can use it ourselves, and we may actually be really surprised. It may actually be like overpowered. And for if you only have like 6 throwing knives, then you expect the throwing knife to be overpowered. So let's take a look at everything now, guys, as a whole. So we're getting 2 armor sets. One obviously has a beret, and obviously, yeah, it does give you like huge ass Rambo vibes. And the other one on the left is kind of the same type of armor we've had previously, but I will say again, it reminds me of like the scout troopers from Star Wars. I mean, we have some helmets like that in the game anyway, but yeah, it reminds me of the scout troopers from Star Wars. And as I stated, we're getting 2 new obviously weapons. We're getting a secondary shotgun called the bushwacker. Is that how you say it? The bushwacker? I think it's called the bushwacker. It's basically a triple barrel sawn-off shotgun. I mean, that's absolutely amazing. Imagine rocking a incendiary breaker shotgun and then obviously also having this shotgun as a secondary. Like, it'd be lethal against the bugs, like really lethal. We're also getting 2 new capes. One called the Mark of the Crimson Flag, Executioner's Canopy. I think the Executioner's Canopy looks more badass, of honestly, than the other cape. There's also a set of new victory emote poses. One that says Test of Conviction, Guns for Liberty, which looks actually pretty cool, I'm not going to lie. And then Welcome Adoration, if that's how you say it, Adoration. Then as you can see, a huge ass throw knife and Experimental Fusion, which obviously is that stim, I think, that booster stim. And then also you get some super credits. So yeah, I think this is probably the best Warbond we've actually had. And I'm glad they're going for more like a theme now. So like, you know, each Warbond that comes out is going to be more exciting. And it's going to have a theme to it. It's not just going to be, you know, loads of random things put together. And I like it this way. Honestly, it builds a lot more excitement. And it makes me actually want to get it. It actually makes me want to actually get it, you know. So obviously they're doing something right. Rather than just throwing loads of things together, having loads of different weapons, loads of different armor, and then obviously them being just nerfed after a week or 2 of using them. No one wants that, obviously. No one wants that. We want this. Plain and simple, we want this. I think as soon as this drops, guys, everyone's going to be like, here's my wallet, take my money, take my money. Thank you so much for everyone who stayed right up until this point. You guys are absolute legends. So if you decide to use your time again with me on the next video, I'm very, very grateful. I'm really grateful. So until next time, guys, go and conquer the galaxy for democracy. And also, don't forget the liberty, because, you know, we need the liberty for these videos.